Hi my little brushflies, welcome back to my channel, Brushfly MUA. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mercedes, I'm the face behind Brushfly MUA. If you are new, remember to hit that subscribe button. If you're not, welcome back and welcome to Vlogmas. I just nearly dropped a product. I am balancing them on my leg and it moved, so I kind of like jumped to go get it, but it's okay. So yeah, welcome to Vlogmas. I'm going to try and do as much as I can through Vlogmas this year. I tried it last year and I got through a lot of videos, but I did fail at doing it every day. I do enjoy Vlogmas. I enjoy watching other people's Vlogmases. So I have decided to try and do it again this year, but I have started a new job. I am working for Too Faced. I am a counter manager. So I'm just going to put that out there because one of my products in today's video is from Too Faced. So obviously, where I work for them, you might think my opinion is a bit more biased on their products, but I like to think I'm quite an honest person and I give honest reviews and feedback, but I do like to point that out. So if you're thinking, well, you work for them, your review is biased, at least you can kind of understand where I'm coming from, like I'm letting you know. So yeah, so today's video for Vlogmas is my top 5 favourite primers. So this is not including eye primers, this is just including face primers. So I'm not going to do it in any particular order, I'm just literally going to grab one. These are just the 5 that I like to grab and use. And I do also have a special mention because it's not technically a primer, but you can use it as a primer. So really and truly it's like my top 6, but really it's top 5. Yeah. So let's dive straight in. So my first tippy top fave is this one from e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. And just to prove to you how much I like this product, I hit pan on it a long time ago and it's going strong. Like, there's not much left in here. So I really like this primer. It has like a really nice luminosity to it, has a really nice glow about it, but it also does make makeup cling to my skin a bit better. I have very dry skin, and if I want to use like a matte foundation, sometimes, you know, my skin's playing up, I want to cover up a bit more than normal. If I use a matte foundation, this is like the primer that I will go for because it has that luminosity to it. It just sort of doesn't make my skin look so flat. It sort of adds a bit of dewiness, a bit of glow, and I do have to say it's also a very comfortable primer. I do really like this one. I have not tried the normal putty primer. I think I will do eventually because I hear so many people raving about it. Doesn't have a smell or anything. But yeah, this one I do actually really like. I have, like I said, enjoyed this many times, but I do prefer to pair it with a matte foundation than a dewy one, just because where this is quite dewy in itself, if you pair it with a dewy foundation, you're gonna look a bit like a sweaty Betty. So that's just my opinion. The next one I really like is this one from Maybelline. So this is the Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser Primer. I found this one in my local supermarket and it is very silicone-y, or at least that's what I want to call it. Now, while I like this one, it does blur, it does make pores disappear, it does make my makeup wear a lot longer. I don't like the smell. And one of my daughters, who is currently getting into makeup, it's the age she's at, I got her one of these and she also commented that she did not like the smell. Now I don't know what it is, but when you first apply it, it has like this weird, I'm going to say like almost eggy smell, which is not very nice, but it does dissipate within a few seconds after putting it on. Once you start smoothing it over the skin, you don't really smell it anymore. But both me and my daughter have kind of noticed that. We've noticed the smell, and because of that like I don't pull it out as often, but I do use it a lot. I do like it. It does make my makeup last a long time. It does really grip and hold it in place. But the smell is just not great, but it is a great product. If they could change the smell, this would be so much more amazing. But it is a really good primer. That's why it is in my top 5, because it is good. The smell is just a bit weird. So the next one is my Too Faced one. So this is the Hangover Replenishing Face Primer. I absolutely adore this one. So I was sent this one from my employers because they like you to test out the makeup and get to know the products before you start selling it on your counter, because you know you're selling their product, you need to know how it works, what it's all about, and get to know it kind of inside out. What I really like about this one is the packaging. Quite a soft plasticky squeezy tube here, but it has like the pump applicator, so you can pump out the amount you need and it's not going to be too much. Now I really enjoy the smell of this one. It has like a, not an overpowering, but a slight coconutty smell to it, which again dissipates after a few seconds of wearing it. It doesn't hang around for very long, but there's just something about this that feels very, very bougie. Now what I want to comment about this one is I have very dry skin, and I find this one works really well when I have really dry skin, because it just adds more moisture and nourishment to my skin, and it's not like a really heavy primer. It's not really thick. Like when you pump it out it does look quite creamy, but actually it's a very thin consistency. So I do really enjoy this one. The smell is amazing and it's just such a gentle formula. I have found since using this one that I've not been breaking out as much as well. Like some of my primers in my collection that I'm not mentioning today, they are very, very thick and heavy on the skin, and I find that if I wear them too much, I break out like crazy. This one I've been using for a good couple of weeks, like literally every single day, and I'm not breaking out as much. So I don't know whether it's something in the ingredients, maybe it's the coconut water in it. It does also have probiotic based ingredients, so maybe something in that is really making my skin happy. So yeah, this one I really, really like. Next up I have my W7 Princess Potion. This one used to have like a squeezy dropper type thing, but I had to use it for something else, so I found a lid to put on. But this one just reminds me of Christmas. It has like a really nice pink tone to it. Like I don't know if you can see in the lid area there, or the neck. This one I love. It, like I said, it smells like Christmas, and it's such a good primer for such a cheap price point. Now because it is that like pinky red tone, it is like a complexion booster and like color correcting primer. So it's not for like everyone, but if you have like very dull lackluster skin, this one can sort of boost it and brighten it a bit more. I do really like this. It can get quite tacky, so I feel it grips makeup quite well. But this is one, because it does have quite, I want to say like a spiced scent to it. I can use it a lot, but then I sort of have to back off from it a bit because my skin gets like overloaded from it. But yeah, I do really like this one. I think for the price point it's not that bad. It's good. I like it. And lastly for my top 5 I have this one from Revolution Relove. So this is the H2O Hydrate Primer. I got this one out of their Christmas calendar recently. So this one is again a very lightweight formula, and it literally feels like I'm putting a cooling water onto my skin. It has like a really watery consistency. This is actually really good for dry skin. I have dry skin. This just adds like another layer of hydration, a bit like the Too Faced one. And it does have a bit of like a marzipan smell. which you may or may not like. Again, it dissipates after a little while. It's nothing too horrendous. What I like about this as well is, for like a really cheap drugstore brand, like Relove is Revolution's cheap brand, it's really bougie. Like, it's quite a tough plastic packaging. It even has a pump. The only downside to this one is you go through it very quickly because it is that watery texture. Like, when you pump it, sometimes quite a bit can come out. When you apply it, it absorbs really quickly, so sometimes I have to apply a bit more in certain areas, and I do find it just goes really quickly. But it is a really nice primer. I have used one of them before, so yeah, this one is good. And I did say I had a special mention, so this is my number 7 Skin Illuminator. So this one, it is meant to be like an illuminator that you sort of mix with your foundation. So if you have quite a mattifying foundation, you can put like a pump of this in, or a squirt, mix it together, and it just gives more of like a glow from within. But it does say on here that you can use it as a primer before applying your foundation. So I don't actually tend to use it like that. I've done it a few times, and it does kind of remind me of like the Charlotte Tilbury type product that's a bit like that. Like, it does have like a really nice luminosity glow to it, but what I do find is that it can be a bit too much for my skin, just applying it and using it as a primer. So I do very much like to add this in to a foundation, especially a very matte one like my L'Oreal Infallible or my Maybelline Fit Me foundation. Those two are very, very mattifying and drying, so I'm more inclined to add this one in to one of those foundations to just make my skin look a bit more glowy and dewy instead of flat. So I do like this, but it does say you can use it as a primer, so yeah. So there you have it. Those are my top 5/6 tippy top favourite primers. I do love all of these. I would highly recommend them. I would definitely buy them again when they run out. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps you if you are on a bit of a primer journey. If you could hear a squeak then, my child's in the bathroom behind this wall, and she's just gone over the floorboards and it's making a bit of a squeak. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one.